AAC. Am I doing this right? 5.4.
As a communication partner of an AAC learner, it is not uncommon for us to ask ourselves, am I doing this right? Communication is innately flexible, responsive, and often unpredictable. We have to get comfortable with the fact that there isn't a set roadmap for speaking and teaching AAC. Think more along the lines of using a compass and landmarks.
We take breaks and we go off the side of the road for some time, and then got to get back on the path. And sometimes the path is really windy and feels like we're going backwards. And all of that is okay. And what we try to hold on to is how are we helping Nico figure out how he can communicate whatever he's thinking to as many people as possible.
As you move through your AAC communication partner journey, reflecting on that niggling question, am I doing this right? Sets us up to be responsive and engaging communication partners. We're going to take a look at 4 checkpoints to guide us. They will also help us find our way back when it seems we've lost our way.
Let's talk about what it means to be a responsive and engaged communication partner. First, it's important to be flexible, to follow our AAC learners' lead that they can show us what's important to them. We need to have open expectations. They may or may not respond as we expect. Also, notice all the ways they tell us things and acknowledge the small, subtle, and nuanced expressions. We set ourselves up to be someone they want to spend time with when we are engaging, and we foster low demand or safe interactions, especially when those interactions are also fun. Being respectful in our exchanges lets them know their voice and choice will be honored. Finally, on this journey, we are learning together. Sink into your role as a fellow AAC learner to focus and pace yourself. Taking ownership of the need to improve your competence over time will make you a better communication partner.
Parents just seem so overwhelmed, and they're, and I was one worried that I was going to do something so, wrong, and again, they need to be able to, they're as nervous and it's as new to us as it is our child. So, you hit the wrong button, people say the wrong words, people blurt out the wrong thing. It's okay, you just say, oh, that's not what I meant to say, and to talk through it. When you're hitting buttons, keep speaking, because they're listening to you, they're taking it in. So, my advice would be talk, because they're listening. Make mistakes, don't be afraid, say, yeah, mom screwed up, because we're going to. And you want them to see that, because then when they do it, you don't want them to think, I'm not doing it right, I failed. Our kids know, we're putting pressure on them. That's, a one-on-one pressure, especially with their practicing and everything. We're asking a lot of them to hit that button. So we want them to see that, yeah, we're going to mess up too. And it's okay to mess up, and you're going to hit the wrong buttons.
You have something to tell me. Let's find a way for you to tell me something that we can communicate better. But again, was it a fluke? Maybe. I don't know. But at the same time, maybe there's more there that we just don't know. And we have to be open to finding it. Yeah.
Reflecting on, am I doing this right? Starts with determining, is my AAC learner motivated by the interaction?
Turn! Good job, Logan! Turn.
As we discussed in a previous video, authentic communication is intrinsically motivated. Having interesting things to communicate about, or just as importantly, having communication partners that are engaging and make it worthwhile, is an essential ingredient in any interaction. If your learner is not interested, giving an out is also an awesome and empowering option. You might say something like, you don't seem very interested. Let's do something different. Or, I think we're finished here.
The second thing you want to ask yourself is, am I noticing and accepting all communication modalities expressed by my AAC learner? And just as importantly, am I seizing those moments to speak AAC? Many AAC learners are effective communicators when we are tuned into their body language, their facial expressions, gestures, and vocalizations. Notice. Then say what you see and use AAC to show what you say. Teaching AAC in the context of what they are already communicating shows we value them as a communicator and gives us an opportunity to provide ample input. The third consideration is, am I using AAC frequently and with variety? Rather than focusing on making time for AAC, am I making space for AAC throughout our day?
AAC is not an activity in itself, but part of every activity. A word here, a phrase there. Keeping AAC available makes it easier to embed it across the day. Using core words, social words, and personally relevant words, and remembering to communicate for a variety of purposes. Mix it up so you don't get stuck in a requesting rut. With practice, you become aware of all the ways that AAC fits into the day and how you can provide multiple and varied opportunities for your AAC learner to experience the capacity of their device.
I think she's starting to understand because, like I said, me and my husband model a lot with this. We also did ALDs around the house, so aided language displays. And that's been a really big, that's been really good because if we don't have this stuck to us every second, like we have the page for like diapers near her diaper changing table, and we have the water play for bath time and things like that. So I feel like she's starting to associate, like when we model with, you know, changing her diapers, splashing in the water and things like that.
Number 4, am I setting my AAC learner up for success with interactions that are respectful, low demand, and open to autonomous responses?
Encouragement, scaffolding, ample input, and well-implemented pause time are important components of an interaction. But authentic communication doesn't have a right answer. Connection is paramount. Being dynamic and responsive can look like a lot of things. For instance, modeling without expectation of a response, or using open-ended questions to invite a turn, but keeping the conversation going even if they don't respond, or providing pause time to support processing and a response. Ultimately, AAC should allow for fun, satisfying, and empowered communication.
You know, I think all of our kids can communicate, whether they do it with signs and body language. I'm watching all the kids here at the conference. They're all communicating all the time. So I think we get taught as families and parents that our kids, you know, have to like use these AAC devices in some kind of magical, mystical way. I don't think it's that. I think it's however you can figure out how to get your kid the power and the tools to tell you something you didn't know, you've won. And there's no right or wrong here. And believe in yourself. I don't think you can do this wrong. I really don't. I think if you do it at all, you've done it right.
I find that being in community with other people is really helpful for my own sort of creativity and commitment to holding it top of mind and not feeling like I have to do it perfect, because that's the other thing that I get is like, well, I have all these books. I have a pile of books over here on my bedside table, like all about literacy and communication and what I should be doing as a parent. And I'm never going to read these books, but I'm going to feel bad about not reading them. So it's a reminder being with people that we don't have to do it perfect. We don't have to wait till we've read all the books.
Reflecting on your habits and interactions as a communication partner is a useful practice. As you learn to communicate with AAC along with your learner, not every interaction will be ideal. Give yourself grace and freedom to fail. This journey is not intuitive and mistakes are inevitable, but we can learn from them. Asking these questions helps us be responsive to the process, mistakes and all, and can guide us towards productive habits in which we are learning to communicate better along with our AAC learner.